All right, now we're gonna work on our flower. Now for this one, Cheryl King had substituted one of her colors for Cherry Cobbler. And when I was working on this flower, I just happened to grab it and was like, you know what? This is the color palette today. And I'm pretty obsessed with it. I think this I'm gonna work on a little bit more. It's pretty, but I think we could do better. Let's see what we could do. But we're gonna start with the leaves first. So I've got my light old olive again. We're just gonna lay down some color and then go back and give it some dimension. Sorry. I keep seeing spots that I missed. Do you ever do that? Ooh, sorry. Family is in full swing right now, guys. Loud people here in my family. Here we go. Okay, so first I'm just going to take some dark olive green, old olive, if you will. I'm just gonna go through the stem or the veins of the leaf, and then I'm just gonna come around to the edge, just one edge. Just give it some dimension, and I'm gonna let that sit. I may have to go back. I keep seeing where I've missed, I think because I go fast. Take your time. But if you missed a spot, you can go back over it with your light old olive. There we go. You can also use your paintbrush tip. How many of you are fans of the paintbrush? When I started, that used to be my go-to. And I don't know when I made the transition or when I switched, but at some point, I just liked the bullet tip better. I don't know if it was because it gave me more control or really why I made the switch. It's just one day I did. Another thing, this is an AI image. And sometimes with those, you get like weird spots. So I noticed that right here on the stem, it looks oddly thick. Now in my original coloring, I filled it in, but I didn't really love it. So I think I'm just gonna leave that blank. And in my imagination, it has like a vine coming off and it's kind of curling behind this leaf. But you can see where it's thick. I don't know. I don't love that part, is what I'm saying. So do with it what you want. You know, it's a little weird. I might have to color it. You hear those cars out there. It's like a raceway. And we have a small side street. I don't live near a highway or something. It's crazy. And it's always when I'm filming. It doesn't matter day, night. I used to try to stop and start the video or cut it out. There's nothing I can do. James said I should soundproof my craft room, which I think would freak me out because I'm in here so much and I don't think I could do it, you know? You have to live. So, there we go. So if you're using your darker color to your blend and you notice that you've got like a really sharp line, you didn't intend that, this is where you go back over it with your marker and soften those lines. Sometimes I forget that, so it's worth a mention, you know? Go back over it. Okay. Also, for our next club kit, I've already started working on that, and I found some images where they're letters, okay? So it's the letter of your name, and then it's gonna have pretty flowers around it for our bonus coloring piece. What I wanna know is, would you rather the first letter of your name, so like S for Sherry, C for Cheryl, S for Sue, or would you want your last name? So K for King, I guess B for Blessing, and C for Cashin. So let me know, which ones would you like? I can't decide. I may just do both. I may just send you both. Okay, so we got this done. Let me go back over. A little bit. Go over that one more time and then we can move on. Now, I'm not gonna color in these dots because that's where I'm gonna put my gems, but you could certainly color those in. Gorgeous. Now, I'm gonna start with my pumpkin pie. I have sent you pumpkin pie and cherry cobbler cardstock. Pumpkin Pie, Daffodil Delight are perfect colors to do with that. But if you wanted to color your flower a different color, you could always switch out your cardstocks and use that for another project. So I'm starting with the light, and I'm gonna go with the outer petals. First. And we're gonna work our way into the center. Okay, here we go. Now I had a flower sprout up in my backyard, and my backyard is just basically desert. It's not, we really haven't done anything with it since we moved in. We have grand plans, but life is expensive, you know? And either one of us are not really gardeners, so when we do it, we want to do more zero scaping and more like rocks and a patio and that kind of stuff, you know? But one of our neighbors has gorgeous flowers in their backyard, and one of the seeds must have blown in the wind, because now I have a flower, beautiful flower in my backyard, and it's these colors, which was kind of the inspo too. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take that dark pumpkin pie, and I'm just, I don't know what I'm doing here. Rimming the outside for now. Okay, loving that. Now we're gonna go in with the light daffodil, and we're gonna do the next set. So I don't know if you guys are Harry Potter fans, but I sure am. So anything Harry Potter inspired, I am all over it. Well, right now, several companies are doing collaborations with, I don't know if it's Warner Brothers or what, but they're making butterbeer flavored everything, right? So you've got butterbeer flavored goldfish crackers, Oreos, and my favorite, Skinny Pop popcorn. I am obsessed with Skinny Pop. You know, I'm always on a diet, it seems like. And if it's in your area and you can find the Harry Potter Skinny Pop, the butterbeer Skinny Pop popcorn, it is the best. you can have 2.5 cups for 140 calories. You can have 2.5 cups, but you could always have like a cup, and that's a fraction of the calories. It gives you that something sweet. My sugar levels have been handling it just fine. I'm telling you, I'm sad that it's only limited edition. I've eaten a whole Sam's size bag of it so far. It is so good. I don't know what they do over there at that Skinny Pop, but it's a winner, and I hope that they bring it back, or I don't know, bring it around again. Anyway, that's my recommendation of the day. Maybe I'm hungry, who knows? Okay, here again, weird AI thing going on, but it's okay. We'll just color it in and keep moving. Now, if you're wondering where I get my images to that we color, I go into Etsy, believe it or not, and I type in what I'm looking for. This time it was spring flowers and spring flower coloring pages, and a whole bunch come up. They're very cheap, they're not that much, but I buy the file and then I can print off what I want, and I resize them and do all the things in Canva. So if you're looking for images to color, they're not free, but you can get for a couple bucks a whole big file and have colored images forever, as long as you have a printer. I like to do that because it supports small businesses. I don't feel bad for redistributing the material because I've paid for it. And if you ever wonder where some of that little extra goes to for your club price, there you go, for our coloring pages. Okay, so we've got that done. I'm going to take the dark and we're just going to add some low lights. Definitely where that AI part is. To me, this is what brings these images to life. Otherwise, they're very two-dimensional. But when you get into the highlighting and shading, and I could never do this without my blends. This is not something that was ever in my wheelhouse to do before. I mean, I would color, but never really gave it much thought to do shading before discovering Stampin' Blends. Okay, all right. So I'm loving that, and I'm loving the line. So you could go back over it with the light, but I'm liking the two-tone lined effect for this piece, so I'm gonna leave it. Now, let's go back in with some light pumpkin pie. Now this is where I brought in that red, but I didn't really Wasn't my favorite, so let me see what I can do. I'm just gonna work with the first petal just to kind of get an idea. So I put the light down. I'm going in with the dark cherry cobbler. Okay, and I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna let that sit for a minute. I just got ink on me. All right. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Now on the example page, I kind of filled in a little bit, like see here. I don't think I'm gonna do that for this one. I think I'm actually gonna make lines with the cherry cobbler. So let's try that real quick. Come up with our plan. Okay. Now, idea. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of the dark pumpkin pie. I'm gonna drag it over it. I'm not gonna fill it in. Just gonna kind of do this. Okay, now I'm gonna go back over it with the light pumpkin pie. Just to smooth it out, just a tad. What do we think? I like it. And I think if we add in this outer section where I left it yellow and then brown, I think I'm gonna bring the cherry cobbler into that area for more cherry cobbler. Let's just try it, let's think. Let's just, you know what I mean? Let's play with it. This is why I give you 2, so that you can try different things out and then be able to transfer them to your finished project. But I hate wasting my work. So unless I'm really like just changing the colors and doing whatever, I will keep both of them. Anyway, that's just my process, how I like to go about figuring out what I want where. Okay, light is colored in. Let's go in with that dark. Now, the dark pumpkin pie. just like for some depth, you know? Throwing stuff around, guys. And soften any harsh lines. Okay. Back in with the cherry cobbler. I'm gonna go around. Tiny circles. Just fill in the outer rim of the inside of your flower. Okay, now, here's the question. Do we go bronze, crumb cake, or yellow? I'm thinking we go dark. I'm thinking we do the bronze. This could be a complete disaster. Let's see. No, I like it. I like it. And as it develops, it got a little lighter. And push some of my cherry cobbler out of that little area. Okay, so it looks a little different, but I like it. I'm loving it, actually. And for me, I think it's good. I think it's really good. So, normally this is the part where I go off camera and cut it, but since we're just using our paper trimmer, let me pull that in. Let's try that. Trim the edge. And I'm gonna go 3.5. And I have to go a little bit more. Make sure you're checking your canal there, that you're not cutting your image. Okay, so what did that end up being? About 3 3/4. Just in case you're one of my girlies that likes to be exact. Here we go. All right, now, what did I say, 5? Yep, 5. So 3 3/4 by 5, we'll cut that down pretty well for you. And bring in our pieces. First thing we're gonna do is crease down our cardstock. There, better. Okay, now, I wanted it offset, but it is the size of a mat. So if you are not one of my girlies that likes, you know, this kind of action, you could mat it. Like my husband, it drives him crazy that I do stuff like this. He likes everything symmetrical and straight. But that's just not the way your girl rolls. So, how I did that, I put put some adhesive on the back. Now when you're playing with it, make sure that there's no spots that overlap, because if it's off of your card base, it's not going to fit in your envelope, okay? So it's just slightly canted. All right. I just want to make sure I had it. I didn't have to flip it. So now we have this flower. If you were to do it matte style, it would matte beautifully. But I wanted it kind of offset like that. But because this flower is kind of wavy, it still looks straight to my eyeballs. I like it. So simple, right? Just some simple layering to give you a different look on a basic card. Because as always, with these cards, we want our coloring to be the star. So there we go there. Now, let's see what I did on the inside. Okay, I didn't recreate the wheel. Bring back in that old olive ink, the brown again. And we're just gonna come off to the side. It's from the Memorable Bloom set, so thanks so much. I need thank you notes for all my birthday gifts. I gotta get on that. Have to get on that, guys. Life has been crazy here. And everything seems to be due at once, no matter how I plan it. So I had to get all the blender clubs out. I had to get our free card making live out, you know, all the things. And I haven't had time for my own projects and things. So that's what I'm going to be working on. Also, I need to revamp my craft room. So a lot going on. And get those bingo packets ready to ship. Okay, I'm scared. I don't want to make a halo. Ah, there we go. Here we go. So very simple stamping. Throw it to the inside of the card. There we go. And the last thing we have to do, I'm going to bring in those gems again. And I'm just, look at this. It's like they knew that we were going to do this. Love it. So good. It's just too good. I love it when that stuff happens. Okay, well that is our projects done for this Blender Club. Let me flip up and we'll say goodbye. Okay guys, we did it. 2 cards done. I hope you had a good time. Help me figure out what colors we need next. Shout out in the comments. Love you, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.